Okay, everybody, so you guys should have had kind of a self-guided lesson in class regarding functions and just kind of like the introduction to functions, a little jog your memory about what functions are all about. And in this video, we're going to talk about operations on functions. So just like anything else that we have talked about thus far in the year, radicals, polynomials, all that rational expressions, all that good stuff, you can perform operations on functions. So addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division being the four mathematical operations that we're talking about. So you will often see some notation like these. And you need to know what that means before you can actually perform the operation. So if you see f plus g of x, obviously we're dealing with addition. And what that means is that you are being asked to add together the two functions, f of x plus g of x. Same thing with subtraction. If you see f minus g of x, you're being asked to subtract f of x minus g of x. It's important to remember to pay attention to the order in subtraction because subtraction is not like addition, it's not commutative. You cannot get the same value when you switch those things around. So make sure you're paying attention to the order. Multiplication, however, doesn't matter. F times g of x means f of x times g of x, which of course you could flip that to g of x times f of x and it would give you the same number. And then division, f divided by g of x is the same thing as f of x divided by g of x. So this rule is that g of x, the denominator cannot equal 0. Okay, so let's try a couple. Adding and subtracting. If f of x equals 3x plus 8 and g of x equals 2x minus 12, we are going to add those two together. So it's just like adding and subtracting polynomials. 3x plus 8 plus, right, because we could think of them in parentheses, 2x minus 12. So since we're adding, all we're doing is combining like terms, 3x plus 8 plus 2x minus 12. Well, that's 3x plus 2x is 5x, and 8 minus 12 is negative 4. That's it. We can't do anything more to that because we cannot, there we go, can only combine like terms. So now let's do g plus f of x, which is nothing more than saying g of x plus f of x. G of x, 2x minus 12, plus 3x plus 8. Well, guess what? As we just discussed, negative 12 plus 8 is negative 4 because addition is commutative. It doesn't matter what order it's in. You're going to get the same answer both times. Different story for subtraction, right? G of x minus f of x. So 2x minus 12 minus 3x plus 8. We have to distribute the negative. So we'll get 2x minus 12 minus 3x minus 8. And that's going to give me negative x, right? Negative 1x, 2x minus 3x, 2 minus 3 is negative x. And then negative, negative 12 minus 8 is the same thing as saying negative 12 plus negative 8. So that's going to give us negative x minus 20, or negative 1x plus negative 20, however you prefer to write it. F minus g of x is the same thing as f of x minus g of x. So that means 3x plus 8 minus 2x minus 12. So despite what the signs are in the given functions, we're making sure that we're utilizing the sign that's being given in the requested operation, right? This is this subtraction sign here. And we have to distribute that subtraction sign, so this will become a plus, and we'll have 3x plus 8 minus 2x plus 12. That'll give me x plus 20. We can handle this. Let's try some multiplying. F of x times g of x. We're going to FOIL. So now we're going to do 3x plus 8 times 2x minus 12. God, I love FOILing. All right, my first term's 3x times 2x is going to give me 6x squared. My outside, negative 12 times 3 is going to give me negative 36x. 8 times 2 plus 16x. And 8 times 12 is going to give me, this is a negative 12, so it's going to be negative 96. We can combine our like terms here, negative 36 and positive 16. Want to make sure you can see. And we'll get 6x squared. Negative 36 plus 16 is going to leave me with negative 20 minus 96. So if you're multiplying two binomial functions together, you will end up with a trinomial. And then let's do our division. G of x divided by f of x means 2x minus 12 divided by 3x plus 8. So this is the same thing as a rational expression, what we just talked about in our last unit. And if we were going to perform this operation, really we're just talking about simplifying, right? Because we're not dividing by another rational expression. And in order to simplify, we would have to factor the top, factor the bottom, and cancel out any matching factors. We can factor 2x minus 12. We can pull out a GCF of 2 and be left with x minus 6. But we can't do anything to the bottom. So what does that mean? Womp womp, that's our answer. It's not very exciting. We don't actually have to do anything. That's it. Okay, so there's some examples. On the back of this page, you have 4 questions. Now you try. I want you guys to try these. I'm not going to do them on camera. I would like you to try them on your own, and we will go over them at the beginning of class. But you have everything that you need in these notes to be able to evaluate these operations on functions. So if you need a refresher, pause, rewind, and rewatch. Otherwise, get these 4 questions done, and we will go over them first thing in class. Great job, guys.